So Breiffni, we've come here to Sansaw Estate. We're near Shrewsbury. Could you maybe give a bit of background to the farm here?
Yeah, so basically James and Orsa Thompson own the estate, own the farm. It was a new conversion back in 2012, basically from tillage, bit of beef, bit of contract rearing, bit of everything. They would have done a SWOT analysis in the years leading up to the dairy enterprise in terms of, I suppose, what direction the estate was going. And I suppose, you know, in regards to paddock size, the average paddock size is 6 hectares here, so it's not quite big enough for, I suppose, for, you know, tillage and whatnot really. So I suppose dairying was the only kind of viable option for them. So so they set up 500 hectare milking platform and a 250 hectare support alongside it for young stock. So yeah, so we're milking 1,500 cows here on 500 hectares, yeah.
Okay, so I suppose people looking here will know by your accent you're not from Shrewsbury.
Yeah.
You come from West Cork. Could you maybe give a bit of background to yourself and how you came to
Yeah,
come here?
absolutely. Yeah, so I'm Breiffni Daly. I'm from Skibbereen in West Cork. I suppose how I got here, William Kingston would be a close neighbour. He's my next door neighbour actually, and he's a very good mentor of mine in life. And basically he would have sent my CV to James and Orsa when they were purchasing 100 calf heifers from him back in 2012. So so that's how we ended up here, yeah.
Fair enough. So I suppose Breiffni, it's a large scale farm here, and I suppose what we'd like to show is maybe the infrastructure.
Yeah.
You know, you've winter accommodation and you've some unique characteristics with that. There's a lot of handling facilities, there's some technology, and I suppose your grazing infrastructure as well, which we would have been maybe involved with. We might have a look at that in terms of underpasses and all your laneways and your tracks. So we might just have a look at all that there and
Yeah.
do a bit of a focus on that if that's okay.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we might head and look at the cubicle sheds. Breiffni, just a winter accommodation. What have you got here?
So basically we have 2 sheds. The first shed here in front of us is the calving yard. So we roughly calve down on average 300 head of cows in here during calving. And they're on straw inside in the shed here, which we'll go and have a look actually. So they're on straw during calving in here.
Yeah.
And then they come out to the self-feed silage here.
Okay. So it's low as well for a reason, the silage?
Yeah, it's low just, I suppose, for ease of access. So that is I suppose, the height that works best for us here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want it any higher really.
Yeah.
Our fence is roughly 19 inches out from the feed face.
Okay.
So if my fingertips are, from my fingertips to my elbow here is 19 inches, which it actually is. So that's where the fence should be from the silage face.
Right. And is the fence running, is it sitting on anchors or what?
Yeah, so we've brackets made for the Lego blocks.
Yeah.
And then we have water bars that we just bait in with a lump hammer into the face.
Okay.
And you just go along every day just baiting them in.
Okay. Is there enough feed there now for the winter there? Or will you have to top that up?
There is enough feed for the winter there.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that'll feed how many cows?
That'll feed on about 300 cows for a full winter.
Yeah.
But bear in mind we're only using it from January for the calving cow, so there's
Okay.
probably more than enough there for the calving yard.
Okay, so they're all on straw then?
They're all in straw here, yeah. So
Yeah.
what we do is we actually put a division, cattle hurdles across here.
Yeah.
And there's a race along the wall, and your 300 cows are on straw here, maternity ward. And as they calf, the calf is barrowed up through a race along the wall. And as the calf is being barrowed, you know, the cows will follow the calf 9 times out of 10. Heifers are a bit trickier, but we do have a big focus on drafting out the cows and heifers that calve to, you know, isolate them straight away into
Yes.
a pen here.
Yeah. Okay, and they're all lying in straw obviously then?
Yeah, everything
Yeah.
is straw bedded in
Yeah.
this shed, yeah.
And is that ever cleaned out during the calving
It
period?
is
or is it
calved
just left
out. It's calved out every every 10 days. We get the contractors in, and we muck it out. Yeah.
Okay, so all the gates then are opened here, are they, for access to the feeding?
Yeah.
Is it?
There's gates. You know, there's four double gates all the way down, and they're left open for access to the feed. Yeah.
Okay, and when they're opened, how are they held back?
Just chains here, literally. So literally, they just lift that like so,
Oh yes.
and it's literally just chained back here, like so.
Yeah. And say, why not have a conventional feed passage here then, say in the front? What's the advantage of this easy feed here? Is it less labour or what? Or?
I suppose just less labour, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot less labour, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how often is this cleaned then?
This is cleaned twice a day. So at peak, this is twice a day it's cleaned.
Okay.
We have a hydraulic scraper made for the front of the JCB.
Okay.
And it just takes it in one, we'll take this in one go.
Right, okay, yeah. Okay, and so calves then are taken from up here, are they?
Calves in, so as the cow, we may walk up there, but as the cow calves in, so like I just said, we had a division of hurdles across here.
Yeah.
So you have your race along the wall here. And then what happens is we go through the gate at the top here. So you can envision a race here.
Yeah.
And there's side gates, and as the calf's being wheelbarrowed up here, the calf, cow or heifer is drafted in here to an isolation pen, and then the calves are brought through here. There's a weighing scales here, and every calf is weighed as it comes through that gate, and there is about 6-7 pens of 10 calves with sheep hurdles along here.
Yeah.
And those timber planks are actually for the heat lamps.
Okay.
And then, sorry.
So how long do they stay here then, or they're moved into another farm?
They're here no longer than 24 hours.
Okay.
So yeah.
And then move to another farm?
Yeah. So the heifers go to a separate yard. The dairy bulls and the beef go to a separate beef rearing yard.
Yeah, okay. And they're all dedicated rearing yards?
All dedicated.
Yeah.
Dedicated heifer yard, dedicated beef yard.
Yeah, and dedicated staff into that who solely look after that, is that right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Yeah. No, and say slurry then to finish on the calving area, then your slurry from outside then it's up in the lagoon below, is it?
That's right. We've got a channel running along all the bottom of the sheds here,
yeah.
Which we'll see shortly. That goes into the slurry lagoon.
Okay, fair enough. When were these sheds built?
These sheds were built in 2019.
Okay. And all before that it was...
We were all out wintering before that, yeah. And we'd outwinter 1,000 cows on fodder beet and round bale silage, and we would house, 200 to 300 cows that weren't beat fit, I suppose, in terms of condition or feet or whatever.
Yeah. And the reason for building the sheds is just a bit more sustainable, was it?
Yeah, a bit more sustainable going forward, and I suppose from nitrates perspective as well, leaching and all that, and I suppose public perception as well. Bit of that.
What length are the sheds?
The sheds are about 90 metres long, so they are.
Why is there a preference for kind of gates sheeted? Is it to protect from the weather or what? Or?
Yeah, I think it's more just weather related, really.
Okay. And you've every shed numbered?
We've every shed numbered for ease of management, particularly for, I suppose, staff turnover is very good here now, but at one stage we did, with new people coming in and whatnot, it was very difficult to tell them what shed to get cows out of whatnot. Yeah. So that just makes it a lot simpler. They're all numbered, yeah. Okay, so you have a slurry channel here then? Yeah, that's exactly it. Slurry channel here, and that's got two inlets here. One just here, and one the same, the opposite side down here. Okay. So that's just, that lagoon is specifically for the sheds. Okay. Versus the other one is for the parlour more, so is it, or? Dirty water, yeah, just more or less the parlour, yeah. Right, okay. So that's a bit of value, I suppose, for the fertiliser-wise or whatever. Yeah, yeah, massive. Okay. So shed 3 then. So what's in shed 3? Shed 3 is just a cubicle shed. So we have three sheds exactly like this, 280 cubicles in each, with self-feed silage again. Yeah. Okay, good wide passages. Yeah, ideal actually, yeah. Okay. And once again, at peak, when they're fully stocked, we, I suppose, scrape them twice a day, and we cube bed them twice a day as well. Okay. So are these doors here, are they closed or open during, or are the access points out? The access out are out, but I suppose when we're fully housed, these are open all right, yeah. So they can circulate top and bottom. Yeah, okay. And they're self-feeding as well again, like the other sheds? Yeah, all the sheds are self-feeding, yeah. Yeah. So Breiffni shed 3 are feeding here then, like the cows over for calving? That's right, yeah. So the shed 3, the cubicle cows, will be coming out here and feeding on this face here, yeah. So just the way the silage is covered there, is it sealed at various points, or is it one sheet, or how is it managed? No, there's 3 sheets on that. So there's actually two proper sheets underneath, and that's just a top layer to cover the middle, really. Okay. Just for and it's not your standard black plastic, is it? It's kind of this silo stop. Silo stop, yeah, okay. That's right. Okay. And what's the advantage of that? It's just heavy duty plastic. It just seems to a bit more wear and tear, puts up with a bit more abuse. Do you recycle it, or would you use it again next year? Well, I suppose with the self-feed we are cutting more plastic, which is not ideal, but we do, to be fair, try and reuse as much as possible, yeah. Okay, yeah.
So shed 2 here again.
Shed 2 feed out here, yeah.
Yeah.
So once again, you've got another 280, 300 cows in that shed, and they're feeding off the cell feed back here.
So if you 280 cubicles, how many cows would you put into that?
Well, we've 287 in each shed,
Yeah.
to be exact. So I put 280 in there.
Okay. Yeah, you don't overload it.
I don't overload it, no.
Yeah. So when would they typically hit this shed?
Any time from, I suppose, early November, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that
Okay.
is the milk. This is, I suppose, this is shed 1. So this is 270 late calving cows, which we'd milk over Christmas into mid-January, into January.
Yeah.
And they would be in this shed here. And so that's, I suppose, milking quality silage, really.
Okay. Yeah. And there's a lot more of it there as
There's
well.
a lot more of it there, yeah.
Yeah. Very good. Breiffni, just looking at the shed here, you have solar panels.
Yeah.
It's obviously a big topic at the minute. Energy costs are gone through the roof, literally.
Yeah.
What role does it play here on the farm?
Yeah, I suppose, look, they've literally just gone in 2-3 months ago. And I suppose, look, we're just kind of learning as we go along. But from all the research and whatnot done on them, then this is the only way to go, really. I think the past 2 months, we've used 80-85% of what we generated, and we're exporting the other 10 to 15%.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's all positive so far, anyway.
Yeah, it's very much the future, isn't it?
Yeah,
That sustainability.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. So here then we're looking at a big feed area which was built, I think, when we
So
were
this
back-
is the
back in the
original,
day.
I suppose, from the end of the clamp here to my right, to all the way over to the end of our left here. This was the original, I suppose, yard.
Yeah.
Built in 2012
Okay.
with the rotary. Yeah. So this is the 700 cow feed pad here in front of us. Yeah.
Okay, and still in operation?
Yeah, it is. It is for the shoulders. So I suppose when we calve here, we're straight out to grass, and I suppose we'll fill the deficit in grass and meal with silage on this pad.
Right, yeah. Again, simply easy to clean as well, all pushed down
very,
here.
very simple, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's a channel down here again, and a lot of the slurry goes straight into the channel, into the separator.
I see,